Namo Buddhaya. Welcome to another video. We all know that it is really difficult to find our own mistakes and our own faults and correct them. But it is really easy to point out other people's mistakes and find other people's faults. This is one lesson that my parents taught me when I was a child. They said, "Son, when you point one finger towards others, there are three fingers pointing at you." Sometimes there are many mistakes in ourselves, but we keep on finding other people's faults, other people's mistakes. But we all know that we should stop finding faults in others, but it is really difficult. Why is it difficult? It is because of this habit, the mental pattern of finding faults in others. Luckily, this is a habit which we can change, which we can take control and stop it. So there are a few things that we have to understand and we have to realize to stop finding faults on others and be more focused on ourselves. In Dhammapada, verse number 50, the Buddha says, "Na paresang vilomani, na paresang katakatang, attano avekkeya, katani akatani cha." One should not find other people's faults. One should not find what good or bad others have done or not have done. Rather, one should find what mistakes and what good or bad things that one has done or has not done. So this is how to be focused on ourselves. Once you realize that no one in this world is perfect, then it is very easy to understand about why they make mistakes and why people keep doing wrong things. Most of the time, we used to complain why they are doing this, right? Why people are behaving like this? Why can't they behave like me? Why can't they be like me? But turns out that no one can be like you. Do not expect people to be like you. Okay? People are people. People are different, one person to another, and that is what makes this human life and human world so much beautiful, because there is this vibrant difference between people. In each and every human-made thing, there is an error. So back in those days when we were learning physics, we used to calculate all the things and measurements, and when we are doing it, we calculate one thing that is called the human error. Okay, what is it? The human error. That means the nature of humans is that there is an error always. And that error is not a bad thing. It is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it is the most beautiful thing in this world. Okay, so understand that no one is perfect and no one can be like you and no one can behave according to all the way that you want, because people are living in their own worlds, in their own lives. They have their own dislikes and likes, so they live according to those intentions and emotions. So we have to understand that no one is perfect in this world. And also understand that everyone is struggling in this life, right? There is this unsatisfied nature in everyone's life, isn't it? This is one thing that we have to understand. This is one of the major teachings in Buddhism. The Buddha says that realize that there is this unsatisfied nature in your life, right? Understand it as it is. And once you realize that there is this unsatisfied nature in your mind, you can relate it to other people as well. Same as I am unsatisfied and same as I am suffering in my life, other peoples are also suffering. Other peoples are also struggling in their life. So they will make mistakes. They will do wrong things. So these are the things that we have to understand, just to not to find faults on others, but to rather be focused on our mistakes and our doings and non-doings. So understand these things. And also, there's one thing. Now, by saying this, should you forget all the mistakes that other people do and just focus on yourself? I would say no. Because there are people in your life that you should find faults. You should care about the mistakes that they do. They are the people who live closely to your life. They are the people who love you most. They are the people who you love most. Always remember, when you see such people's mistakes, there is a way to correct them. Okay? It is okay to find the faults on those people, but there is a way to approach them. There is a way to correct them. Do not choose the easiest way to correct other people's mistake. What is the easiest way? Using the anger and using the violence to correct mistakes on other people. This is not a productive way. If you truly love someone, if you truly care about other people's life, their life, you should approach them to correct their mistake in a more productive way. So you should think, what is the most productive way that I can correct their mistakes? Not to just to hold on to not to make them hold on to their own mistakes and keep on doing it. Not just to make them more stubborn on their mistake. So when you consider about that, you find the easiest way and you find the correct way to approach them. The best way to correct someone's mistake is to speak to them privately, not in publicly. Speak to them privately and just explain what mistakes that they are doing. Okay? And explain the consequences of the mistakes. And also, you have to praise and you have to appreciate the good things that they do. The more you see the good side and the bright side of the people, it is very easy to approach them and correct their mistakes. The more we see the negative side or the dark side of the people, here's one thing happen: you lose the ability to communicate. Because we are reminiscing and we just keep thinking about that, or the negative idea or the negative point of that person, and just forget about the strengths and all the abilities of that person that we can praise and we can appreciate. And by appreciating that, we can correct that little mistakes in them. So that is why just be more focused on the good side and the bright side of the people. So keep these points in your mind and live happily by seeing the good of other people and by seeing the wonder of this world. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. The words that we speak have a great power. Remember, words can make people as well as the words can break people. Therefore, our great teacher, Supreme Buddha, advised us to speak always the nice words. Supreme Buddha advised us, you should not speak harsh words. Supreme Buddha said, Mavocha parusang kanchi. Do not speak harsh words. Why? Vutta pativadeyutam. If you speak harsh words, you will be spoken harshly by someone one day as a result of that action. That is the law of karma. Supreme Buddha said, Dukkhahi sarambhakatha. The harsh speech, rude words, angry words is a suffering for everyone. Patidanda puseyutam. If you speak harsh words, you will be spoken harshly one day. That is the result of those actions. So that is why our great teacher Supreme Buddha advised us to always speak nice and gentle words. Because no one in this world would like to be spoken by anyone harshly. No one likes to listen angry words. No one likes to be scolded by someone. Sometimes in life, we may think to solve the problems, to deal with arguments, we need to be angry. We need to be stubborn. We need to speak harsh words and we need to hurt others in order to control others. But that is wrong. Remember, our great teacher Supreme Buddha advised us the best way to control the people, best way to win the hearts of the people, win the trust of the people, the best way to deal with the arguments is to use the kind words. The perfect example for controlling people with kindness is our great teacher Supreme Buddha. Supreme Buddha never used harsh words, angry words to control people, to tame people. Supreme Buddha used the kindness, compassion, loving and pleasurable words to speak with people. That is why millions and millions of people loved the Supreme Buddha in the Buddha's time. They loved to listen to the Supreme Buddha's words. They trusted the Supreme Buddha's words because it was very nice. It was kind. It was gentle and it was healing like cool water. So, when we are dealing with our life problems, when we are dealing with people who are very toxic, when we are dealing with arguments, remember, you should watch what you are speaking. You should give a big concern about the words that you speak. Because words are like a weapon. It's like a knife. Now, when we take the knife, we can use the knife in order to do something good as a useful thing. Right? We can use the knife to cut vegetables and cut useful things. And also, knife can be used to kill a person. So words are like that. Words can heal the broken hearts of the people, as well as words can break the hearts of people. Sometimes words can lead someone's life to the death. So that is why Supreme Buddha said, never speak harsh words, rude words, angry words. If you speak angry words, what is the result? You will be spoken angrily and you will get hurt by the same words one day by someone else. So as the result of that action, according to the law of that karma, you're going to go through a hard time one day. So remember, when you speak the words, you have to think about what you are speaking. Supreme Buddha advised us that you should not speak all the things, all the thoughts that comes to your mind. Normally, people don't think about the thoughts that pop up in their mind, right? Supreme Buddha advised us that when a thought arises in your mind, you have to consider about that thought, whether this thought is good or bad. Whether this thought is going to hurt someone else, or is this thought is going to hurt myself. So if it is an evil thought, Supreme Buddha said, you should abandon that. You should not act upon that thought. You should not speak with those thoughts. That is why Supreme Buddha said, Manasache paduttena bhasativa karotiva. If with an impure mind, if one acts or speaks, Supreme Buddha said, Tatonang dukkhamang veti chakkang vahato padang. The suffering will surely follow him like the cart wheel that follows the ox. So, dear devotees, you need to think twice before you speak. You need to give a big concern to what you speak. When you are speaking a word, always let those words to go through these three filters. Now, normally, people use filters to filter out the bad things from something good. So you need to flow your words through these 3 filters before you speak. So what are those 3 filters? Remember, before you speak any words, always think, is this word is a lie or a true? So when you think that, you can stop lying. So that is the first filter. And the second filter is, before you speak anything, always think, are these words are going to hurt anyone? Then you can stop the rude words that you are speaking. And the third filter is, always think, are these words are useful or not? Then you can stop the useless words that you are speaking with your mouth. So let your words to flow through these 3 filters. Then your words will be pure, right? If you speak gentle and nice and true words, everyone will like you. Everyone will like to be with you because everyone likes to listen to nice words. Everyone likes to be with people who speak nicely. So always speak gentle and nice words. Never speak harsh words to anyone. Remember, words can make people and words can break people. Namo Buddhaya, Theruvan Saranai. Namo Buddhaya. Couple of days ago, I read this amazing Native American parable that gives a deep message about our minds. And I'm going to share it with you today. The story starts like this. A grandfather teaching life lessons to his grandson once said, "There is a battle going inside my head, son. And that battle is between 2 wolves. One wolf is evil. His anger, resentment, jealousy, hatred, inferiority, superiority, and negativity. And the other wolf is good. His kindness, compassion, love, humility, joyfulness, and positivity. In each and every one of our heads, there are these 2 wolves fighting this battle to take control over our life." Then the grandson thought for a moment and asked from his grandfather, "Well, Grandpa, who wins this battle?" Then this old grandpa looked into his grandson's eyes and smiled and said, "Well, my son, the one who wins is the one who you feed." Ladies and gentlemen, throughout the day, throughout the life, we keep feeding these 2 wolves in our mind. The more we feed the negative side of our mind, these thought patterns will become more powerful. And it goes to the other way the same. If we keep feeding our minds with love and compassion and generosity, with the positive thoughts, these thought patterns will become more powerful. See, we become more serious about the quality of the food that we put into our bellies. But very few of us will become more serious about the quality of the thoughts that we put into our minds. And that is why the Buddha said, guard your mind against all evil thoughts. Cultivate wholesomeness by avoiding all evil thoughts from your mind. The wise people are the ones who are truly self-controlled. So, we need to be more serious about what we feed into our thoughts, same like we become serious about what we feed into our bodies. So keep in mind to feed the positive side of your life. Namo Buddhaya.